Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid, so strange, that it stayed with you throughout the day? You can still feel the emotions, hear the voices, and see the faces, yet once you're awake, you're left wondering, what did it all mean? Dreams have always fascinated us, often feeling like a secret message from the deepest corners of our mind. But what if these surreal visions were more than just random flickers of our subconscious? What if your dreams were trying to tell you something important about your life, your mind, or even your future? Tonight, we're going to dive deep into the science of dreams and explore what your mind might really be trying to say while you sleep. So close your eyes, let's embark on this journey together. If you're intrigued by what your dreams might really mean, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with others who want to unlock the mysteries of their mind. We've all had them, the vivid, strange dreams that linger in our minds long after we wake up. Sometimes they're thrilling, sometimes terrifying, and sometimes they leave us with more questions than answers. So what are dreams really? Why do we have them? And why do they feel so ... significant even when we know they don't make any sense? Throughout history, dreams have been seen as messages from the gods, glimpses into the future, or even a window into the deepest corners of our subconscious. In ancient cultures, dreams were thought to carry divine insights or warnings. The Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans all had their own interpretations of dreams, believing that they held the keys to health, love, and destiny. But what do we know about dreams today? In modern times, science has begun to unravel some of their mysteries. Despite centuries of exploration, we still don't have all the answers. What we do know is that dreams are not random. They're a product of our brain's activity during sleep. They can be influenced by everything from our daily experiences to our deepest fears, hopes, and desires. Interestingly, dreams don't always follow a linear storyline. They're chaotic, fragmented, and often nonsensical, but they're also deeply personal. A dream about falling might mean something entirely different for you than it does for someone else. But one thing remains clear. Dreams have fascinated humanity for centuries, and they continue to be a powerful source of intrigue, mystery, and self-reflection. So what are dreams really trying to tell us? And why do they feel so vivid and emotionally charged? Let's dive deeper into the science behind them and uncover what's really going on when we close our eyes. To understand dreams, we first need to understand sleep. After all, we don't just dream in any random state of mind. Dreams are intricately linked to how and when we sleep. But what exactly happens when we close our eyes at night? When we sleep, our bodies cycle through several stages, each one playing a crucial role in our rest and our dreaming experience. The most critical phase for dreaming is known as REMing, or rapid eye movement sleep. This is the stage where our brains are highly active, yet our bodies are temporarily paralyzed to prevent us from acting out our dreams. It's during REM that the most vivid dreams occur, those strange, colorful, and often emotional scenes that feel so real. But what about the rest of the night? Our sleep isn't just made up of REM sleep. We cycle through non-REM stages as well, which are essential for restoring our bodies and minds. These stages include deep, slow-wave sleep, when our bodies are actively repairing and regenerating cells. Interestingly, while dreams can occur during non-REM stages, they're often less vivid and more fragmented. So how does all this tie into dreams? Researchers believe that dreaming is the brain's way of processing the events of the day. In REM sleep, the brain sorts through memories, emotions, and sensory experiences. It creates stories out of bits and pieces of reality, often blending them into something surreal. Some theories suggest that dreams help us consolidate memories and make sense of our waking lives, while others point to dreams as a way for our brains to rehearse survival mechanisms or emotionally regulate stress. Next time you drift off to sleep, remember, your brain is hard at work, weaving together fragments of your day into something completely new. But what exactly is it trying to communicate to you? When we dream, our brain doesn't just take a break. Instead, it enters a state of hyperactivity, with certain parts of our brain firing up in ways that are both mysterious and fascinating. So, what exactly is going on inside our minds when we close our eyes and drift off into these often bizarre, vivid worlds? During sleep, particularly in REM, rapid eye movement sleep, the brain becomes highly active. In fact, research shows that certain areas of the brain become even more active than when we're awake. For instance, the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for processing emotions, lights up, explaining why so many dreams are emotionally intense. You may wake up from a dream feeling euphoric, anxious, or even terrified, depending on how your brain has processed and amplified emotions during the dream. On the flip side, the prefrontal cortex, which helps us make logical decisions and think critically, tends to quiet down during REM sleep. This is why our dreams can often be so illogical and disconnected from reality. We might find ourselves flying through the sky one moment and, in the next, running from an unknown pursuer, all with no sense of time or reason. But it's not just emotions that get stirred up during dreams. Memory also plays a significant role. The hippocampus, the brain's memory hub, is deeply involved in the dreaming process. It's thought to help organize and store the day's experiences, taking raw memories and blending them into something new and often abstract. That's why our dreams sometimes feel like fragmented snapshots of our lives, memories warped and woven together in strange ways. The brain is a powerful storyteller in these moments. And though we may not always understand the meaning behind every dream, it's clear that our mind is trying to make sense of the world in the only way it knows how, by creating these vivid, emotional, and often confusing narratives. Dreams have been a source of fascination for centuries, but what do they really mean? Over time, various scholars and psychologists have tried to unlock the mystery of why we dream and what our dreams reveal about us. From ancient interpretations to modern scientific explanations, the theories behind dreams are as varied as the dreams themselves. One of the earliest and most famous theories comes from Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis. Freud believed that dreams were the royal road to the unconscious. He argued that dreams are expressions of repressed desires, unresolved conflicts, and subconscious thoughts. According to Freud, the bizarre, often illogical nature of dreams was a way for the unconscious mind to work through unresolved emotional issues. For example, dreaming of flying might represent a longing for freedom or escaping from real-life responsibilities. In Freud's view, understanding these dreams could help bring hidden emotions to the surface and guide individuals toward emotional healing. But Freud wasn't the only one with theories about dreams. Carl Jung, a contemporary of Freud, took a different approach. Jung saw dreams as expressions of our collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of human experience and archetypes that transcends individual experience. He believed that dreams connect us to a deeper, more universal understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Jung saw recurring dream symbols like the shadow, the wise old man, or the great mother as powerful archetypes that could reveal insights into our inner selves. In contrast, modern neuroscientists take a more biological approach to understanding dreams. Theories like the activation synthesis hypothesis suggest that dreams are simply the brain's attempt to make sense of random electrical signals during REM sleep. According to this theory, dreams don't necessarily have any deeper meaning. They're just the brain's way of processing all the activity that's happening during sleep. Despite these differing theories, one thing remains clear: dreams are an important part of the human experience. Whether they're reflections of our deepest desires or simply the brain's nightly housekeeping, They are a window into our minds, our emotions, and perhaps even our futures. Have you ever woken up in a cold sweat after dreaming you were falling, or felt exhilarated after a dream where you could fly? These common dream themes often leave us questioning their meaning. Are they just random electrical signals, or could they be reflections of something deeper within us? Let's start with one of the most frequent and often unsettling dreams: falling. Falling in a dream is a universal experience, and it often symbolizes a loss of control or a fear of failure. Perhaps you're feeling overwhelmed in your waking life, or maybe you're facing a situation where you have no clear direction. Falling dreams can also be linked to feelings of insecurity or anxiety, especially when you're facing a major life change, like a new job or a difficult relationship. Another common dream is flying, a dream that many find liberating and exhilarating. Flying often represents a sense of freedom, escape, or empowerment. If you dream of soaring through the air, it could mean you're longing for freedom from a situation or a person in your life. Conversely, if you struggle to fly or feel unable to stay aloft, it may reflect a sense of being trapped or unable to break free from constraints. Flying dreams often tap into our deepest desires for control, independence, and a way out of our challenges. Then there's the chase dream one, where you're running for your life, pursued by someone or something. This is often associated with stress, avoidance, or fear. If you're being chased in a dream, it could indicate you're running away from something in your waking life, whether it's an unresolved issue, a fear, or even an emotion you're not ready to confront. On the other hand, if you're chasing something, it might suggest a yearning or a desire to achieve something you feel is just out of reach. These dream themes, though often bizarre and irrational, are reflections of our emotions and states of mind. And understanding them can give us valuable insights into our waking lives, helping us confront fears, desires, and emotions that we may not even realize are lurking in our subconscious. Imagine being able to control your dreams, to realize in the middle of a dream that it's just that, a dream, and then consciously steer the narrative in any direction you wish. It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, but lucid dreaming is very real. In fact, it's a phenomenon that many people experience, whether they know it or not. Lucid dreaming occurs when you become aware that you're dreaming while you're still in the dream. This awareness can lead to a remarkable sense of control, where you can change the environment, manipulate the people in your dream, or even fly without limits. The feeling of freedom and empowerment in a lucid dream can be exhilarating, but how does it work, and can anyone learn to lucid dream? Researchers believe that lucid dreaming happens when the areas of the brain responsible for self-awareness, like the prefrontal cortex, become active during REM sleep. This is when the mind realizes, wait a minute, this isn't real. The moment of realization often leads to an increase in the dreamer's sense of control. What started as a passive experience becomes an active one. Some lucid dreamers report using their dreams to practice skills, solve creative problems, or even confront fears in a safe, controlled environment. But how do you actually trigger a lucid dream? There are several techniques, such as reality checks, like trying to push your fingers through your palm, keeping a dream journal, and performing exercises to increase your self-awareness before you sleep. Some even try techniques like the wake back to bed method, where you wake up after a few hours of sleep, stay awake briefly, and then return to sleep with the intention of becoming aware that you're dreaming. Lucid dreaming can open up a fascinating world of possibility. It's not just about controlling the action, it's about exploring the deepest corners of your subconscious mind. What might you uncover if you had full control over your dreams? Not all dreams are peaceful or exhilarating. Some are downright terrifying. Nightmares, those unsettling dreams that can leave us wide-eyed and sweating in the middle of the night, are an unavoidable part of the dreaming experience. But what causes nightmares, and why do they sometimes feel so real that they haunt us? Long after we wake up, at their core, nightmares are the brain's way of processing stress, fear, and anxiety. When we experience trauma, fear, or emotional turmoil, our minds can sometimes channel these intense feelings into disturbing dreams. Nightmares often occur during periods of high stress, major life changes, or unresolved trauma. They act like a psychological release valve, allowing the mind to confront and process emotions in a safe, albeit terrifying, way. But it's not just extreme emotions that trigger nightmares. For some, the cause may be more mundane, perhaps. Stress from work or school, personal anxieties, or even things like consuming certain types of media before bed. Our minds don't always know how to filter out these day-to-day stressors, and they can manifest in dreams where we're chased, trapped, or caught in an overwhelming situation. Interestingly, nightmares tend to feature more negative emotions, like fear, helplessness, and sadness, rather than positive or neutral feelings. This suggests that nightmares aren't just random, they may serve a deeper psychological function. Some experts argue that they can be a way for the brain to rehearse survival instincts, preparing us for real-world challenges. For others, nightmares can be a sign that the mind is trying to process unresolved feelings or traumas that need attention. If you've had a nightmare that's lingered in your mind, you're not alone. But the good news is that there are ways to cope. By addressing the root causes of stress or anxiety, keeping a regular sleep schedule, and using techniques like lucid dreaming or relaxation methods, you can start to reclaim control over your dreams and reduce the frequency of nightmares. Have you ever woken up from a dream that left you feeling deeply emotional, whether elated, anxious, or even confused? You might have wondered why you felt such a strong emotional reaction to something that logically wasn't real. Well, that's because our dreams are intimately connected to our emotions, and understanding this connection can give us profound insights into our waking lives. When we dream, our brain isn't just replaying random images from the day, it's processing our emotional experiences. The amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for processing emotions like fear, joy, and sadness, is especially active during dreams. This is why our dreams often reflect our emotional states, sometimes even amplifying them. For example, a dream about being lost or in danger can echo feelings of uncertainty or stress in your waking life. A dream of reconnecting with an old friend might symbolize unresolved emotions or a need for emotional closure. Dreams can be a mirror to our subconscious mind, revealing feelings we might not be fully aware of while awake. Maybe you've had a recurring dream of failing an exam, not because you're afraid of failing, but because you're anxious about how you're measuring up to others or yourself. Or perhaps you dream about being overwhelmed at work, mirroring your waking stress about your career or responsibilities. Interestingly, dreams can also serve as an emotional reset. After a particularly emotional day, dreams can help our minds make sense of intense feelings, providing clarity or even closure. They're like a nightly emotional detox, allowing us to process, release, and move on from the challenges of our day. Ultimately, our dreams are a powerful emotional tool. They remind us that our minds are constantly working to understand, regulate, and process the emotions we experience. The next time you wake up feeling a strong emotion from a dream, take a moment to reflect. What might your dream be trying to tell you about your emotions and about your life? We've all heard the stories, dreams that seem to come true, visions of events or people before they happen. But is it possible that our dreams can truly predict the future? Or are they simply a result of coincidence, wishful thinking, or the brain's way of making sense of the world. The idea of precognitive dreams, or dreams that predict future events, has fascinated humanity for centuries. Some people claim to have had vivid dreams about specific events that later unfolded in real life. In some cases, these dreams might be about trivial things, like dreaming of running into an old friend and then doing so the next day, but in others, the dreams seem far more significant. For example, some have dreamed about major world events, personal milestones, or even the deaths of loved ones. So, is there any scientific explanation for these kinds of dreams? According to most researchers, the idea of predicting the future through dreams remains highly speculative. One possibility is that dreams reflect our subconscious mind processing the data we gather throughout the day, including things we might not consciously notice. In this way, dreams may provide glimpses into patterns or events that are unfolding in the background of our lives, patterns that we might recognize later in waking life. In other words, it might not be that dreams are predicting the future, but rather that they are giving us a subconscious heads up about things we are already primed to notice. Additionally, there's something called retrospective clairvoyance, where people may have forgotten their dreams until after an event happens, only to realize later that the dream seemed eerily similar to what occurred. This doesn't necessarily prove precognition, but it does highlight the brain's ability to create connections between dreams and reality. Despite the lack of scientific evidence for predicting the future, the idea remains captivating. Whether or not our dreams can foresee what's to come, they still offer a window into our emotions, fears, and subconscious thoughts, sometimes revealing more about ourselves than we realize. Dreams are more than just fleeting images and emotions that fill our minds while we sleep. They are a window into the hidden recesses of our subconscious, offering us insights into our thoughts, desires, and even our potential. But what if we could learn to harness the power of our dreams, using them as a tool for self-discovery, creativity, and emotional growth? The idea of unlocking the mind's potential through dreams isn't just the stuff of fantasy. Lucid dreaming, dream journaling, and even dream analysis have all been used as techniques to tap into the hidden wisdom within our dreams. By paying closer attention to the content of our dreams and becoming aware of recurring themes, symbols, or emotions, we can begin to understand ourselves on a deeper level. Dreams give us a unique opportunity to explore unresolved feelings, confront fears, and work through emotional blockages without the constraints of reality. Take, for example, the practice of dream journaling. By recording your dreams as soon as you wake up, you create a direct link to your subconscious mind. Over time, patterns may emerge, dreams that mirror your waking anxieties, desires, or even insights into challenges you're facing. This process can help you develop a clearer understanding of your inner world, offering a roadmap for personal growth. Lucid dreaming, on the other hand, allows you to take control of your dreams and explore them consciously. Lucid dreamers often use their dreams as a canvas for creativity, problem solving, or even therapeutic exploration. In a lucid dream, you can confront fears or practice skills, using the dream world as a safe and limitless environment for growth and discovery. Ultimately, dreams are not just a strange nightly occurrence, they are a powerful tool waiting to be unlocked. Whether you're using dreams for self-reflection, creative exploration, or personal healing, the mind's potential in the dream world is limitless. All it takes is a willingness to dive deep and listen to the messages your dreams are sending you.